Hey, what's up, my construction entrepreneurs? Tyrone Jones here. Hey, let's turn on some lights around here, man. There we go. Oh, shucks. Man, that dude is handsome, boy. That dude is handsome. Anyway, so listen. Hey, I was getting on here this early morning to give you an update, right? I want to give you an update. And now, man, it's almost like the soap operas, man, where it's like, man, like, stay tuned is the next move. So I'm doing updates on two things. Well, I give updates on two things. Right now, I'm giving an update on one of the issues. The two issues I'm giving updates on that you need to look out videos on is, one is that new customer out of Palmdale that I work with, where we basically went out there to do a quick recap. Went out there. Was supposed to do 800 linear feet base cove to some doctors and medical offices in Palmdale. Went out there, had like 250 linear feet left. We didn't finish. The owner kind of was like, you need to finish. You told me you was going to finish. But then, we really, low key, we really had some work where we had to do some removal and we should not have been doing. And we probably I should have had another two guys out there. Let's keep it real. Anyway, so we went back out there the next day, finished. Mind you, now the funk was on my end, right? Because I didn't finish. Could be I should have sent more guys. Kind of not really getting, understanding like how much work we was actually going to get, because it's mainly the corners and the short runs that really take you a long time, right? So like, okay, so that's probably, I can say, on me, right? But then when my partner went there the next day, when I was in San Diego at that engagement party, he had the wrong color for the next unit over. So we wasn't even able to finish the next unit because it was the wrong color. So now it's on him, right? So, and then I'm finding out that he still needs to file the exactimate with the insurance guy, with the insurance agent, and the insurance agent is on vacation. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? He's dropping nuggets here. So anyway, so let's jump to this one, the reason why I'm on here. So remember, I got the customer that owes me 48 grand, right? I was supposed to get a check last week, but he sent me an email saying, hey, T, I'll pay you 50%, right? Well, let me say, he didn't say, hey, T, okay? He says, Tyrone, okay, I'll pay you 50%, because T means something different, right? That means we buddies and shit. But we cool, but we ain't T and T, you know what I'm saying? Because his name is Tom. So anyway, he sends me an email. I sends an email back to him saying, hey, I feel we'll be in a better position, both of us, company-wise, because we're both losing money on this job, for you to pay me 75%, and we leave the remaining, I think, 10, 12 grand on the table, okay? 12 grand on the table. And, we can discuss this at a further date. Well, I didn't get a response, and he left that next day, which was Friday, so no check was cut. Monday comes around, which was yesterday. Today is Tuesday. And Monday around noon, I sent him a text like, hey, good morning. I responded to your email regarding payment. Can you please review my email and get back to me, at your earliest convenience, something like that, right? Well, usually he responds to text messages. Like, we have texted before, back and forth, about jobs and workers and things like that. Well, he didn't respond. So I was like, okay, well, I get home around, and I'm home, and I get someone from the office calls me at he calls me at 7:30. Calls me at 7:30, and he says, hey man, I'm not saying he's mad. I'm not saying the owner is mad. All right, sorry about that. So I get a call around 7:30, whatever, and the guy tells me, say, hey, Tom is not. I seen Tom mad. I don't think he's mad. I know he's frustrated. Now, mind you, the owner's frustrated because the guy he had in place for 5 months, literally, that he took forever to fire, remember, he took forever to fire this guy, has put him in a financial, just a bad position financially, okay? And now myself too, right? But we all have told him about this guy. We all have talked to him and sit down and express to him, you know, we need to get rid of this guy, man. This is what he's doing. This is what he's doing. And finally, he finally fires the guy. But, you know, now when the guy, you know, he's caused some destruction. Luckily, it's only 2 jobs. And it's not all the jobs he was on. I mean, there was even jobs that we found out now where a customer called them, was like, hey, are you guys coming back to finish this construction? There was a job that they did that he dropped the ball on, didn't even go back out there to do the construction on for 9 months. I think it was 6 months, not as much as 9, but 6 months that I just went over and did a couple of weeks ago at McCormick Foods, Mojave Foods, McCormick, right? Crazy. So now you get to this point where it's like, okay, now I see, I'm glad I got rid of him, but now he's costing me, right? So now the owner says to, my contact says, hey, he walks in the office, and I don't know if these are the correct words, but he kind of leaves it out to where they don't really know what to do. So let me see if I can word it that way. He says, hey, so if I pay Tyrone 75%, we'll just be done. And he walks away. Now, the person that was in the office is the person that cuts the checks for him to sign, and his manager, right? Well, the way he said it, the words he used, it wasn't like, hey, this is what we're doing. Nadia, cut the checks. Hey, Doug, you do this. You call Tyrone, let him know. Now it was like put out there in the air based on the words he used, to where it left them like, are we cutting a check? Is he just thinking about this? Was this just something that he just threw out? Like, what's going on here? What are we doing? They were kind of confused over the whole thing. So right now, you know, like I told my contact, like, okay, so the reason why the reason why I said 75%, because I think 75% leaves us in a better position, especially myself, after I have forked out all this money so far, you know, and the only payment I got on, the only draw I got on this job was $8,000, right? And I have forked out the rest of the money so far for this project, so I'm out quite a bit of cash here, you know. So I feel that, hey, and plus, you know, this is behind something that we have told you for a long time, and now that you're losing, you're like, hey, you know, share it with me, and I'm willing to share it with you. But I think, you know, the 75% leaves us both in a better position, right? Whether if you're losing, I'm losing too, right? So my thing is that there was no discussion. See, this owner, he's not confrontational, right? So issues, he's kind of like, have anybody read that book, Shoe Dog? Like, Phil Knight was he wasn't he wasn't the typical type leader. He was more shy, and like, if I remember the book correctly, he was not assertive and shy. It was not assertive and demanding, and, you know, to like matter of fact, to the point. You know, he expected the people he hired to kind of take their own road and lead and kind of take ownership for what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's how he ran Nike. It was crazy, right? This big company, and it was ran like this. The owner was like that. So still amazing, but this owner is similar to that, right? He doesn't really, you know, he takes forever to fire somebody and all kind of stuff. So anyway, so that's where we're at right now. Right now, he didn't tell me that. So today, anyway, so let's go back. So 75% and we're done, right? Well, listen, I love 75% on the, I'm asking for 75% because I have a relationship with you. I want to continue to do business with you. Now, if you're like, hey, I'm going to pay you 75 and we're done, then no, you need to pay me 100%. That's it. You need to pay me 100% and then we're done. If that's going to be that. You pay me the 75% and we discuss the rest. I'm open. Like, I might even, I'll ask you guys, should I eat the 12? Because I haven't ate it yet, but the way things work out in this construction industry is that whatever you leave on the table when there's an issue, it's harder to get. Okay, so I'm open to losing that 12. Now, it's not going to be an easy fight, right? I'm not just going to go to your office and be like, here, take this 12 and we just walk away. I don't operate like that. Let's talk. How much are you losing? How much am I losing? Because I'm not trying to lose more than you losing after I done forked out all of this cash. Let's kind of discuss this and see where we can be at to be a little bit more even. Now, if the 75% doesn't satisfy you, right, then 75% puts me in a better position because of the nature of how this thing has played out. Okay, let's not forget that. So I need to not be below 75% as a company. But we'll see how this goes. Hopefully he responds to me, and hopefully we can have a sit down, and then I can go from there and kind of talk with him and see kind of where things are at. But I don't want to end a relationship. I want to walk out of there as a victory, to where we're still doing business. I love doing business with this company, but at the same time, sometimes things don't work out. So tell me your thoughts. If he says 75% we're done, should I say, no, pay me 50% and you keep 50 and we continue to do business, which means that I'm losing half of that 48, right? Which is a big cut, right? Or should I be like, oh, 75% we done? No, give me 100. And he's like, no, I'm not giving you 100. I'm giving you 75. And then I get off into some other stuff, and either way, I'm gonna get my 100. What do you think? What would you do in this situation, right? Because this is stuff that happens. It's going to happen to all of us, right? Come on now. What would you do? Okay, how would you handle this? How would you see this? Play out the scenarios. Let me know. Do you want your 75? Right? I mean, with my 75, I'm still losing. Okay, it's going to be a loss for both of us. Should I go and split the loss evenly? Is he even willing to share his loss with me? He's not a communicative. Whatever. He doesn't communicate like I would, like. He's not like that. The confrontation. He communicates, but when it comes to confrontation, he shies away from it. He gets away from it. He downplays it. So this is totally something that you put on the table and you kind of discuss it. Kings amongst kings. So or queens amongst queens, right? I mean, there's some women out there that's handling business like this too. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe someone got a better option on the table that I need to look at. Let me know what's out there. Lay it on me. Drop some jewels. All right, my construction entrepreneurs. That's the update that's the 48 grand update. Hit me back. And remember, hustle hard, then hustle harder. Catch you on the next one.